Welcome back, guys. So carrying on from where we left off. So if we should take a closer look on this, you can see some of this bleeding out around here. You can also see some of this bleeding out around here. So let's try to mimic that in here before moving on to this other hair description down here. So what we're going to do is to select this. You can just hide this for now. Then under the head scalp, let's review the head scalp. So we need to kind of have this bleed out a bit more. Let's say somewhere around somewhere around here. So let's kind of review let's first of all review our hair guide. And then we're going to kind of create just maybe a few hair guides around here. Let's just come in here and click on this plus sign and create some new hair guides here. Okay, maybe here. Then I'm going to select each of them. So I will need to kind of mirror them to the other side. Let's deselect this. Then let's mirror them to the other side. Okay, that's good. So now we kind of know where they are now. Let's bring back the hair in here. Then we can paint some of this bleeding out around here. Okay, so we're going to go, let me just put this here. Supposed to close this for now. Okay, so back to primitive. So we need to kind of paint back this marks. So let's go into the marks again. Okay, I'll hit B and kind of increase this a bit. That's way too much. Something like so. Maybe still too much. Let me just reduce it a bit more again. And review this brush. Yes, let's be on solid brush. But I don't want to paint all the 100% of white, maybe probably somewhere around 50%. Now just kind of paint around here, like so. Doesn't need to be precise or very accurate. Then I'll do a quick save for this. Then I'll come back to my textures and save these textures in here. Then let's hit generate again for this. I think I also need to kind of go into the clumping also and update that so that the clump is going to be affecting these new painted marks now. Okay, yeah, that seems fine. It's not very obvious, it's not too aggressive, but still there. So I'll go to okay. I think maybe I should not adjust the height for those. Right, I should probably adjust the height also, but yeah, let's do that first. So let me just turn this off for now. Select all of this. Let's see if we can use the, let me just do a quick save first. Let's see if we can use this symmetry for this. Select this on both sides. It's not selecting on both sides, unfortunately. But since you know where they are already, it should be all of this. Probably this also. Now I want to kind of exclude this. Now the scale too. Just scale this down like so. Maybe a bit more like this should be fine. And something like this looks fine. Then let's do an update again for this. Okay. Yeah, this would work. Something like this would work. Then I'll just go to modifiers. Select the clumping one. Scroll down to setup maps. Then all you have to do is just to click on generate again, save. That's basically it. Then we'll do the same thing for the other one. So we need to kind of do this for this to kind of update on the model. Save. Rather to update rather on the Xgen guides. So now we can update this again. So this should affect the other ones too. Okay, that's fine. So now, since we have kind of gotten this out of the way, we can hide our, let's leave the guides on. I'll leave the guides on. I'm going to hide the air instead. Or maybe, let's leave the air instead and hide the guides. Because we need the air instead in there to kind of know where start creating our hairs for the second description. Let me just hide that guide. Okay, so now we can start creating a new description for the other parts of the hair. So we should have, yes, if we should kind of go back to the anatomy for this, you know that the hair should be flowing in a direction more or less like so. So we try as much as possible to kind of keep in mind this directionality to it while creating the new guides. But before we create the new guides, let's create let us create a new description. So select this head hair mesh. Okay, let's create a new description. Let's come back to primitive. description, create description. So we want our description to still be in this same head scalp collection. That's precisely what we want. Then we're going to create a new description and name this side head underscore hair underscore DESC. So we want this to be on placing and shaping guides. Random across surface is fine. Spline also is fine. Everything looks fine. And just cross check again. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll click on create. Let's just give this a moment to kind of create this for us. Hopefully this doesn't crash. Okay, we have a new description created in here now. Awesome. So we now officially have a new description created. Just more or less like precisely what we want. So now what we need to kind of start doing now is start creating some guides for this. So you see, it's just the same process, just like the previous hair we created. Same process. Just get this out here. You can see how this kind of flows the flow also. So what I'm going to do is to, since I have this in here like so, and just put this up here. Maybe even put this here, or just put this here. So I think for the hair, I think this entire, I don't know the width I use for this. Let's check the width I use for this. So I use the width of 0.3. So to be on 0.1, we're going to adjust that when we're trying to export everything out finally. So I'll do that later. But for now, let's just go back in here. Let me just copy this. Let me just copy this first. Copy this site air description. Just paste this in here. You can carry on with the other settings for this. So the taper value should be, just copy this 0.71. Then for the taper stats, I'll just copy this. That should be 0.7600. That's fine. Modify CV count. Let's leave this at default for now. Then let's do a block out for the guides. Probably put this here instead. I think we convert primitives to polygons. We don't want this. Let's just drag this out of the way. Put this around here. Then let's start by creating a guide. So I'll try as much as possible. Let's keep the guides more or less in here. I'm just kind of more or less start in here. Just check this to see if this is working correctly. So create guide. Just kind of do a block out like so. So the block out is going to be kind of capturing like this angle to it. So I'm just going to create a block out that kind of captures that angle. So it's maybe in here, like so. Let me undo that. Undo this also. Let me get this at a more sharper angle to it. Okay. Alright. So I've established something in there now. Let's just go in here. Establish something in here also. Okay. Then let's kind of figure out where the hair should kind of stop at the back. So looking at somewhere, this is somewhere around here, like so. Let's just see somewhere around there. Then I kind of capture another angle to it all the way here. There's something like this. Should be fine. Then let's just keep blocking this out. Okay. Okay, I think it should be fine. So now I'm just going to go back to the center head hair description and turn kind of hide the hair for now so we can work a bit faster on our scene. Okay, yes, so now we can work a bit faster now. Then I'll just do a quick save again. Just put this around here. Okay, so you can start sculpting this now. So I'll select this. Let's start from this piece. Go to the sculpt tool. Just kind of get the direction to it first. So let's start by getting the direction to it. This is the one that's around here. So let's just push this like so. Select this, push this like so. I'll get this down like so. Select this. and get this at an angle. Now it seems to be entering in way too much. Let's use the scale to bring that out. Okay. Once we establish the directional flow to it, then we will continue to modify and refine them. Select this. This we can just push down. Select this. It should just go down like so. The points for this is just 5. We're just using 5 points for this. Select this. Use the rotation to kind of get tilt this down a bit first, then kind of push it down facing this way. Okay, like so. Let me just get this way. Select this. Alright, now we're kind of captured the flow for that. So carrying on also in here. Select this. I hit G on the keyboard, kind of go to the active tool, the previously used tool, which is the sculpt tool. So let's get this around somewhere like so. We still need to kind of create a hook out of this though, but for now let's just keep getting all of this in the direction that we need it to be. Okay. So direction for this, you can see how this one is kind of called more or less in like an opposite C kind of shape. So something like so. Let's get this down. So it's looking something more or less like this. Select this also. Push this down. Go to the sculpt tool. Kind of get this looking more or less like this. Let's just push this down like so. Select this. Kind of get this a bit twisted like so. Something like this should be fine. This particular one, we can get this facing something like this should be fine. Maybe like so. Select this last, okay, not this last, not the last piece actually. Now get this almost facing face down without so much of a strong direction to it. Now something is missing in here also. We need some guides in here. Let's create a new guide in here. And just push this down. The flow should be somewhat like so. Okay, let's get this down. This should kind of be tilted this way, more or less like this should be fine. Right, I'll select this. Let's get this facing. Let's see direction for this. Direction for this should be somewhat like so. Even a bit more like this should be fine. Select this, use the rotation tool first, kind of get this at an angle like so. That should be fine. Select this, kind of get this facing here like so, tilted a bit more like this. This is fine. And the next thing we need to do is to kind of, okay, not now, let's see. I would need to kind of fill up this region. But before we fill up this region, let's kind of make this look more or less like a hook, I guess. But we don't start adding any coils again to this, so let's just manually kind of make them look as though they are being coiled up. So we'll probably need more poly count. We probably need more CV points for this. So let's put this around 8 and click OK to rebuild that. So if you should select one of these now, I'm not so sure how long this should even be. I'm guessing this length looks long enough. This length looks long enough. So I'm just going to let's see, kind of get this looking more or less like a hook. Like so. Something more or less like so should be fine. Maybe tilt it a bit more around here like this should be fine. I'll select this, I'll do the same thing also. Kind of make this look more like a hook. Okay. Then kind of going to tilt this a bit more to kind of make it look more like an S-shaped form. Something like this. So basically going to be repeating this for all of them. Just get this out. So we don't want to have this, we don't want to have them looking very plain. So you still want to kind of add some kind of interesting look to the overall shape itself, so it doesn't look so too plain. Well, that depends on what you're doing though. If you're going for a curly hair, then you have the coil modifier too. So the coil modifier should do most of the heavy lifting for you. Kind of coil this up. But if you're not really going for something coiled in, you might want to kind of do that manually. on the guides. So let's see how this looks. So keeping in mind that you still want to kind of keep the same, you still want to kind of make sure you're keeping the same, you're kind of following the same direction to it though. Very important. So this, I'll just change this up just slightly. Okay. So I just keep modifying and changing this up. Let's do this a bit more accurately, like so. Should be fine. Okay. Once you understand what you're supposed to do, it more or less becomes more or less like a repetitive pattern to it. It becomes more repetitive. So the idea is just to understand what you're supposed to do. Then once you understand what you're supposed to do, it's more or less like a repetitive pattern to it. But keeping in mind the diversity of the reference you're using, so you can do it a bit more properly. So looking at this now, I believe I need to kind of push this down some more. These are just necessary steps that you just have to do to kind of make sure your or the hair looks more interesting and believable. So these are kind of important steps that you need to take for this. So I'm looking at the main reference also. I'm also kind of coiling this up to kind of match the reference in a way. That is also very important. So I'm kind of feels a bit out of place. I'll just get this here like so. Still have a long way to go, so let's just keep working on this and then coiling it and making some more adjustments to this. That's just basically the goal for this, just to keep, at least for this basic shape, for this block out stage rather, just want to keep refining this. So the idea is that the more time you spend on this, the better you can refine this to your liking, and the better results you would also have. So just basically take your time while you kind of do this, just to make sure everything feels, right. So I'm just going to keep modifying this, kind of getting that coil around it. Okay. Okay. So let us keep modifying this. The direction to it, the flow of this, and the anatomical flow of this should remain the same. We're just kind of making it look more like a hook. So I'll just get this around here. Just kind of make this look more or less like an S shape in there. So trying to figure out how long I should make this. Maybe I should make this hair a bit longer. I'm not too sure. Maybe I should make this guide a bit longer rather. So I'm not too certain for now, but we'll see. Once we start generating air out of this, we would know if we need to modify this. We kind of make this a bit longer than it actually is right now. Okay, so now we have something in there now. So let's kind of fill up. Let's fill up this region. So now once we're going to start adding some of this in here, they should kind of interpolating between themselves and they kind of capture the shape. Okay, so add one in here, like so. This one feels very stubborn though. Does not want to kind of conform to the shape of the others, so let's kind of force it to kind of conform to the shape of the others. Oh yes, we would need a scene. Okay, let's just keep adding some shapes in here, some guides in here rather. It's not conforming like it should, so let me select all of this. Let me just create them first in there. Let me just create them in there first. Then I'm going to modify them later on. But they're definitely not following the direction it's supposed to follow. So let me select all of this now. I'll select those newly created ones now. First of all, make it 8. First of all, use the rebuild and kind of make it 8 CV counts. Okay. Let me just do a quick save again. Now I'm going to start doing this a bit manually, so I'm going to select. Okay, these two seems to be in place already. This one not so much, so I'll come in here and then select this first. If I click no, kind of get an angle to it. I use copy guide shape, select this and use paste guide shape. So this is just what I'm going to be doing for the rest of it. So I'll come in here. There's a better angle to it. Copy. I'm just gonna get this off on an empty space so you can actually see these options come out. Now open, select this, copy. I have to look kind of make this face an empty, the empty space. Then we use paste. Which one should we use? Should we use for this now? Let me select this instead. Copy, paste. I think we can. Let me copy this. copy, select this, paste. I think I'll copy this one, copy, paste. Okay, select this, copy, and paste this in here. I think I'll do the same for this also. Paste that in there. This should be more or less fine. I guess, yes, I think I might just need to go in a bit more. Let's go in a bit more. So I'll just paste something, just create new guides around here in the inward parts. Okay, and I'll just paste what we have already copied. I think I'll just paste what we have already copied. This is going inwards way too much. Okay, that seems fine. Okay, can I select 2 and then repeat the same thing there? Oh, awesome. That makes the work a bit faster. Take just one last piece. Just raise this out a bit more. Like so. So now I have something like this now. Let me just do a quick save again. Before we kind of mirror this to the other side, let's generate airs from this. Let's see what we have. Hold on a minute. I think I just made a big mistake. Did I just oh man, I just made a big mistake. Just made a big mistake. So you have to really be careful. You have to make sure, very important, you have to make sure you're creating the air guides on the correct description. Very important. So now I just made a big mistake of creating guides on the center head here. So I made a big mistake of creating guides in center head here. Let's see how we can fix the problem. Let's see how we can fix this. So I'll come back into this side here and I will do let me just hide. Okay, let me just hide all of this. So going back to center edge, let me review. Let me hide this for now. I'll select all of this. I want to be sure if okay. Okay. So with all of this selected now, what I'm just going to do is to go to the utilities tab. I'll go to the utilities tab. I want to convert all these guides to curve. Copy curves. Let's paste curve in here. There's no paste curve in here. Okay, yes, let's convert all these guides to curve. So convert curves to guides. No, so it should be guide, yes, guides to curve. So select this. So for the guides, we don't want to keep the guides in here. We don't want to keep them in here. So let's just do a delete. We'll do a delete. So as soon as this converts these guides to curves, it's going to delete it from this center edge description. So let's click on, first of all, let's do a quick save. And let's click on create curve. So now if we should go to our outline now, let me close this. On the outline now, we should see new curves in here. So these are the new curves created now. Let's close this. So you can see that they're not showing in a color value of blue. So if we should go back into the side A, let's go back to the side A, then come back to primitive. No, let's still be on utilities. So let's come in here and then we'll select, let's select all these curves, making sure you're on the right here, make sure you're on the right description. So select all these curves, then let's use curves to guide. So I'll select that. Let's unselect the guide to curves. So select these curves to guide. I think yes, you can do. Let's just delete the curves. So we want to delete the curves. Proximity, base proximity, that is fine. Then let's click on add guides. Okay, that is in there now. So let's click on this show guides. So now that has kind of dropped our mistakenly drawn up guides in the wrong description, now in the right description. So you can see it's more or less like a good thing we kind of encounter that mistake. So you can actually, I can actually show you guys how to fix it also. So this is fine. So let's just do a quick save again. Okay, so I've saved that in there now. So if you come back, let's see, under this preview output, only primitives in the view. No, we don't want that. So let's generate some more airs for this. So back to primitive. Let's push this. No, let's change this CV count to, let's put something else. Let's put this at 50 for now. Then generate the airs again. So you can see how we'll try as much as possible to kind of conform to the shape of those guides. Shape of the guide, that is precisely what we want. So I'm just going to select all these guides now, then mirror it to the other side. So have them mirrored to the other side now. So let's increase this to density to around 60. Okay, so now we have a lot of hairs being generated in here, which is way too much. So let's put this around 30. This should be updating automatically because I have not changed this. I have not turned off this update preview automatically. Okay. Maybe, just maybe, I might still add some. Maybe I might still use the curve modifier for this, the coil modifier for this. Maybe, just maybe. So I'm just kind of visualizing this to be sure if this is working correctly or not. Which for the most part it is, but I'm not too sure for the length though. Let me just put this around 10. We kind of see if the length is okay for this. Though we have all of these more or less at the same length, which isn't supposed to be. So what I'm going to do next to hide the hairs for now. Now I'm going to modify. Let's modify some of this scale for this randomly. So I'm just going to modify some of the scales for this randomly. So we kind of have we kind of have some kind of variation in some of the lengths. Some of the length of this should have a bit more variation to it. And we're going to duplicate. We're going to flip that to the other side. So I'll select all of this side again, then mirror it to the other side. Then let's kind of fill up this gap in here. This part looks really empty. Okay. Let's just select all of this again and do a mirror to the other side. Alright. So it seems to be entering in way too much than it needs to. Let's just get this out. Scale this out. Kind of get them looking shaped like so. Alright. Let's generate some more hairs for this. So I think we can use this as a good base. It should probably serve as a good base. Yes, serve as a good base. So in the next lesson, we're going to keep modifying and then correcting this and adding modifiers and adding clumps to this, and then until we get our desired result. So see you guys in the next lesson. Bye for now.